Oh my
word.
God.
I forgot what I was going
I'm
to
sorry,
say.
y'all. Look, I done took all your audio away. We having a great old time. They
Oh no!
They missed all. Y'all missed all of that. Y'all got 14 minutes of. This has just been.
This is our
We're
best
just
stuff.
throwing this. We're just throwing this whole broadcast away. I'm just telling y'all now. Don't go back and look for it because it will not be there. All right. So the question becomes: are we socialists?
Yeah, what was the question again?
Are we socialists? Where
Yeah.
do Black Americans fit in this
right,
debate that's
right.
going on?
I was going to say socialism is part of our life now since we got the New Deal. Was it the New Deal? Yeah. I am getting old. I can't remember nothing. Yeah, the New Deal. Like I said the other day, my father, or maybe I just told Ruthie that today. I don't remember. My father became a Democrat because of the New Deal. All his people were Republicans.
Yeah, but that was in the
right. I mean,
late
I'm saying what's the
30s,
that deal is no
39.
longer new. That's an old deal.
It's an old deal.
We've
now.
been played. They like, remember we gave y'all that back in 1930. Y'all do know it's a new century. Like, that's 100 years ago. Like, we literally are, that was 90 years ago. So,
but we still use it even though
I'm not debating
President Trump is trying to destroy it.
Okay, so answer me this, riddle me this, Batman. You want to be a socialist or you want to be a patriot? Because I feel like I feel somebody did it perfect.
I want to be a realist.
Being black is like being African with no heritage and being American with no privileges.
Ooh.
Oh, I saw that somewhere.
That was a really good one. I saw it from Kim Snead. So my question becomes, y'all, where do we fit? Because I'm going to tell you, if I was watching both conventions and if I was watching, like if I'm watching what's going on, I mean, I kind of would probably lean to the right? Because I felt like they didn't portray me as a downtrodden, sickly. I was like, I could be all I could be. I was like, I almost felt like I could go sign up for the army, right? No, I ain't going to the army. Don't get it twisted. And on the flip
I don't
side,
think they'll take you anymore.
I feel like the Democrats are talking about how terrible America is, which I think.
Yeah, but their, if I remember correctly, their twist on it was more of, this is Trump's America.
And
I
think,
thought it was the Latino Billboard Awards, the DNC,
and not according to not to the Latinos. According to Joaquin Castro, the Latinos were mad because they don't have representation. Now, there ain't nobody telling them to shut up and be quiet.
We need more.
Ain't nobody telling them to shut up and be quiet, right? Not at all. Nope, not at all. And did you hear? So here's my.
Well, I want to know what Ruthie, because Ruthie's got a home. She cut her lawn.
Ruthie, yes. So
she met a neighbor.
Where do we fit?
She packing. She everything that's America. Hey, wait a minute, Ruthie. You got a dog?
Of course.
Yeah.
What
see?
kind of dog you got?
A pocket pit, an American bully. It's kind of a new breed. Came around in like 2009.
Okay.
Pit bulls are so lovely.
They are. So, all right. So,
Bet.
the thing about Trump, though, because I looked this up, Trump said this election will decide whether we save the American dream or whether we allow a socialist agenda to demolish our cherished destiny. I feel like the Democrats want me to choose the Democrats because they're saying Trump is going to implode the country. And the Republicans are like, hey, if you vote for the Democrats, it's going to be socialism. You want the American dream? Now, I feel like the American dream is bastardized. I don't even really feel like I have access to it. But the Democrats ain't really giving me nothing.
You got everything in the American dream.
I'm between a rock and a hard place.
Chevrolet.
I'm between a rock and a hard place because I do believe in universal health care. I believe that education should be free.
Right.
So I'm kind of teetering along the little socialist lines a little bit.
Education, I do believe in public education. I don't think they're trying to get rid of public education. However, I think we should have options.
I'm talking about like student loan forgiveness. I'm talking free college for everybody.
Oh.
I'm talking free health care for everybody.
I'm not thinking free college for everybody.
I'm talking about subsidized food per month for every household.
Oh, yeah, you a socialist.
Allegedly.
Okay, so I'm with you. Okay, so if you get the socialized bread every month, do you get name brand bread, or do you have an option to get name brand bread, or do you only have to get the one with the green and black stripes on it?
See, I am not in favor of what I call the government cheese.
So wait, you want the
handout?
So you want Sherman? You don't want one ply?
I think you should be able to decide.
So
you should be able to decide
I had to buy
what you get.
some toilet paper that wasn't my usual brand, and let me say I was disappointed.
Let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you on the toilet paper tip. I go to Costco, right? So Costco. I be like, everything Costco is somebody else's. No, it ain't. I used to get Costco toilet paper. Boy, I had some Charmin the other day. I was like, what is this, man? I was like, then somebody had to turn around and say, did you get the red or the blue? I'm like, there's a difference?
Right.
Like, I was like, oh, my God. So I guess my question is, see, I want the American dream. See, I want, like, let me say this. I want my version of my American dream. My American dream is to build me a big old fat house with a bunch of land around it that got a big old fence that I could do anything on that land that I want to. I could build a compound. All my kids, my family live on that compound. We can do whatever we want to do on that compound and mind your business. Stay off y'all do whatever y'all want to do. And then if I can get me 200 acres and we can build us a black town, I'm with it.
You want to go to unincorporated whatever.
Yes. I would love, like, I feel like I would love the opportunity to get all the stuff that comes with the American dream and just build it in my neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like it's like there's this, if you are white in America, it's not bad to be an American, right? Mm-hmm. And if you're black in America, it's not good to be an American because you don't get the rights and privileges of being American. Mm-hmm. I want the full rights and privileges of being American. And then, Ruthie, let me tell you what, we'll be like them white folks up north who be like, yeah, I got 3 kids in college. What's the problem? Mm. Right? Like, I think it's not accessible to, I think the American dream we have limited access to it, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Now, what I want to do is get to a point where we can get it and participate. Like, I don't have a problem being an American. I just want to participate fully.
I think it was just an experiment that we see that it just ain't work. I think the American dream was an experiment.
Ooh.
It worked. It worked for some people.
It worked for some people. So where we? None of us. So let me ask a question. Where do you think you will succeed? So so should we all be wearing gray suits? Like, should we all wear gray suits?
It's not really my color. No.
I was thinking the same thing. Thank you, Sonia.
But I'm just thinking, like, this, because again, if we make everything even, right? First of all, it never will be even.
Never.
There will never be even, because even if you make everybody under the wealth, like, say the 1%, the 99% is all even. The 1% gonna be like, I got a new idea for the 99%.
Right.
And I just think, like,
you see it in communism.
Limiting your access to even get to that point really freezes you. Like, so I don't know. Let's talk about it when we come back. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, Todd Stroger, Ruthie Moore, and Sonia Escobar. And when we come back, I want to talk about are the black people that supported Trump sellouts. I was thinking about the audacity of white women this weekend to tell Alice Marie Johnson she should have stayed in jail rather than take that pardon from Trump. I was like, clearly she's never had jail food. We'll be back after these messages. We'll be right back.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
The biggest threat to Illinois citizens from Washington is health care costs and policies. Senior citizens have their Social Security reduced from Medicaid. And some of our senior citizens live off $3 a week for food allowance. Families are...
And if I'm in jail, get me out as soon as possible.
But you know what? It seems like the type of...
Sell my car if you have to.
Why is it that Trump, the black people that... I feel like the black people that associate with Trump, it's always like about law and order. Like, or it's either law and order, or it's like the whole bootstrap story.
Right.
Like, I just want him to, can he get some regular blacks?
Because that is the Republican mantra.
But that is why it's hard to see black people coddle to that and then still see them as like, all right, they got the best interests of black people at heart. Like,
I totally agree. I'm on your side.
So difficult. But I looked up the Alice Marie Johnson story, kind of like what happened, and I listened to her speech.
What happened? I don't really know that.
I mean, essentially, she got way too many years. I think she had like a life sentence plus something. Like, and it was just a very disproportionate sentence.
What
Like,
what was her crime?
I think it was like drug trafficking. Like, I think it was.
Oh,
like,
she was a mule. That sounds familiar.
Okay, so it was her involvement in a Memphis cocaine trafficking organization, and she got sentenced to life in prison for that.
That's a lot for a mule.
Exactly, it's a lot, right? So she was hoping. I think her biggest thing was, and I think the reason why Trump really kind of likes her is because her biggest thing is I thought Obama was gonna pardon me when we got a black president. I thought he was gonna look out. So of course, it makes good TV for Trump.
I think that's the only reason she got pardoned, because he was like, I can make Obama look bad.
I think so too. I think so too.
Which is fine with me. I don't care. I don't care why you pardon me.
My thing is, why would you leave that on the table for him to let you look bad?
Mm-hmm.
Like, my thing is, she said they was all sitting around. When you hear her talk about, everybody was like sitting around waiting because they just knew Obama was going to pardon
them. That's what I was telling Todd.
And she was waiting by the TV, and they said Obama and them was in a helicopter gone.
Yeah, she's famous. I know her.
Oh, but check this out though. Again, here go the religious part. During her time in prison, she became an ordained minister.
Of course she did.
I mean, I don't think that. See, here's my thing. So what's wrong with her becoming an ordained? Churches, like,
it's the type of black
that's
Trump
not
like.
the point. Yes, that's right.
It's just a certain type of black that he
If
likes.
you don't fit into the narrative, then you're not getting the pardon.
So what narrative did the black people fit into for Obama?
Oh,
Like, and I guess my other thing is part of the American.
I said I was
I'm
Obama defender.
But I guess
when did I become St. Michael?
My other part of that whole thing is, it's like,
Well,
I feel like
he wouldn't be a saint. He's an angel.
But Christianity to me is part of the republic. It is.
It's part of the American dream.
Yes, I mean, I think part of the American dream or American is like church on Sunday, which I don't think was a bad thing. Like,
how we got a separation of church and state though?
I mean, you didn't go to state church.
It's not in the Constitution. Anything about we don't have a state religion.
No, but here's my point.
I mean, national religion.
Really?
Do y'all see again?
Really?
Yeah, we don't have a national religion.
Not on paper, but y'all really don't think Christianity is the national religion?
I
fight
so.
it all the time.
It's on.
Maybe the rest of y'all do, but I don't.
I mean, I think that I think we fashion ourselves as, or the belief is that we are a Judeo-Christian society.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a given up until recently. Right? It wasn't even questioned. It wasn't that you couldn't be here and be something else. But understand that when you come here, we saying one nation under God, ain't no Allah, ain't no getting sworn in on no extra stuff. Now, as we have become more inclusive, as we have had more Alexandra Ocasio, whoever's of the world, right? Now we are starting to expand that. But then that's the same people in Congress saying, blow up Americans, right? I'm excusing terrorism. We should have done it. Now, I'm okay with you saying, like, I can understand people saying we get what we deserve, but the fact of the matter is, if you start talking about America get their ass kicked or whatever, I got cousins that are soldiers, that are American soldiers. So if you rooting against America, you essentially rooting for my cousins to get killed. So screw you.
You know, the time when I feel so proud to be an American is when I'm abroad in a different country.
Who calls you abroad? Come on, let's get amazed.
It's when I'm abroad, because I'm telling you, that American passport.
Where you been?
Africa.
I'm going to tell you,
you've been around.
It
abroad.
does.
I'm telling you, feel good about being an American
Sometimes.
when you're abroad.
I feel good about being American until you get around some elite white folks. Then they get snobby. I'll never forget we was in Zimbabwe, and
You mean Americans?
it was a whole crew of us. We had balled out at this restaurant, and then we found out we couldn't use credit cards. So it was like we had like a $7,000 meal, right? So everybody
$7,000.
everybody. I mean, it was like we had damn near the president, the prime minister. We was everybody. So we trying to get cash to pay the deal, and there was like these South Africans that were because we only spoke English, and they was making fun of us because we only spoke English. Oh, stupid Americans! And then we had somebody that understood what they were saying and gave their ass to dinner.
Advocate for black people in the world.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Y'all, I want to talk about this whole concept of, can you be a black Trump supporter and not be a sellout? I'm gonna tell you, this weekend I woke up to white Karen, I told y'all she used to be a friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she a friend, because she was not my friend, but apparently, if you say anything, I was like, man, Trump had a black person on stage every night, had some black people on stage. Now, here's me. If you white, shut up. Shut up.
That was simple.
No, I'm saying, if I'm talking about black people,
Right.
you don't get to call up, you don't get the ability to say your opinion on black issues. White folks just feel like they have the ability to interject on everything. And I was like, we was having a black conversation over here. Black people, every day, black people. You're leading your people in the wrong way. If you don't shut y'all need to go read the conversation. And as black people were like, white people, then I did a whole post about white people need to mind their business. Why do I need to mind my business? And all you're calling me a Karen because and my thing was can I just make the observation that he had black people, and none of the black men that I saw on stage, I know y'all gonna call them all types of whatever y'all want to call them, but I did not feel like any of them were the poor, downtrodden, woe is me black people. God, the world is terrible, etc. Now, I know that's part of the props, etc.
They was them redemption black people, because they was downtrodden at some point, but then
so
they
was
worked
redemption.
themselves up.
So no redemption. So what black people should we be? I guess where do I fit? I feel like at some point, somewhere in your world, you gotta say there's no Calvary. There's no Calvary. Now, as I told you, if I had to work at Burger King, McDonald's, as I've done in the past, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, and everything else to feed my family, I would. And I wouldn't be mad if I would take every bit of assistance I could, but I wouldn't be depending on that. Now, the interesting thing that I thought was I was watching the story of Alice Marie Johnson. Was that her name? Mm-hmm. Alice Marie Johnson, which was the black woman who was released from jail. Kim Kardashian got out. She wasn't a violent offender. She got caught up in the, some money laundering type of activity, and wound up, the judge gave her, under Joe Biden's sentencing guidelines, life in prison, right? It wasn't Joe Biden's. I know. He didn't.
I wasn't going to say nothing.
Okay. But
well, actually, I was going to say she got an entanglement. But go ahead.
Okay, she had an entanglement. That was a good introduction. So my question is she a sellout for supporting President Trump? And do white people have the ability to question her for her support of President Trump?
I don't know. Why is she supporting him?
You ever been there when they closed that door? So I'm gonna just tell you.
But she already out. She don't have to support him now. She can be honest. I don't know if this is her honesty. That's fine with me.
But that's my point.
Got her
So,
out of jail.
so play the. You know what? Let's play the clip, cause y'all. I ain't seen nobody even take. Negroes won't take a day off work.
Some lawyer and the Trump administrator got out of jail.
Okay, play the clip.
Do you endorse him?
I'm so appreciative of everything the president has done. And of course I support him as a president. I didn't have a right to vote, and I still haven't registered to vote. So I thought it would have been, a little bit hypocritical of me to vote and then say I'm endorsing. But I do support the work and things that the president is doing.
Do you want him to be reelected?
Well, with him on criminal justice reform. So I'd like to see that happen, to be able to continue to do this work. But Jake, for me, this is not about politics. This is about people. And I try to really stay focused on what my mission is. As I said in my speech, that was true. I did make a promise to the women and to the men that I would never stop fighting for them. This really is not a partisan issue, criminal justice reform. It's something that reaches across the aisle, that has impacted both Republicans, Independents, Democrats. It's American citizens who have been impacted. by this. So the president has been very kind to me, and the other people who I have been in contact with who's been around him, I know him personally, and I don't see that in him. Whatever anyone else feels there, they have the right to what they feel. But for myself, I really don't see that in him.
What a Sambina. What a sellout. She is just ridiculous.
She's got a right to her opinion.
No, she doesn't. What is she thinking about?
For.
She have a right to her opinion.
But I also realize that there are, when you are in a big operation like the presidency is, it's like I was talking about my fraternity brother. He is in the economic part, and I'm sure he thinks the opportunity zones that he's pushing can be very helpful. She feels like she can be very helpful in her justice space, but I'm not in any of those things. I'm looking at the bigger picture, and I see him as a threat to everybody.
You know how black people, after Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, everybody turned to that party? I feel like this is the same thing. You gonna go with whoever free you if you've been locked down in one of them holes.
Ding dong ding. So let's just take the fact that since the First Step Act has passed, right? And I'm not tripping. Mm-hmm. In Chicago, we are seeing that a wave of people who were incarcerated are now returning home, right? Some at local, but they're returning home. What I am suggesting to you all
is part of that's COVID-19.
That's the county, not getting out. Is you're getting out of COVID-19. You're getting out of county jail, temporary lockout for COVID. Here's what I'm suggesting. What I am suggesting when you talk about the HBCUs, right? Mm-hmm. So the HBCUs got $250 million in federal reasons not funding HBCUs. It was funny to me this weekend to hear people saying, man, I don't really want to trip on that money. I'd be paying a lot more money. What I am telling you is, have we heard any HBCUs say thank you? No. Now, they're scared to say thank you for the money so should we say to those students, nah, y'all stay y'all tell there and don't go to school because you can't afford it. Don't ignore your self-interest. Since day one, take what you can get. Maximize what you ain't got to vote for them, but to say I'm going to close my ears and say, nah, I can't. Keep it to me. It's just dumb.
Ruthie,
because
I'm going to give you a bologna sandwich, but I'm also going to burn your house down.
Hey, Ruthie.
But you're going to have a full
and I got you. But in the meantime, you know what? I'm going to let you live in that house. I'm going to give you
I'm going
to give you a ham sandwich, but I'm going to come get and I'm going to say, scoot over. Don't mind my hand. He got his hand up our skirt. Democrats got their hands up our skirt while y'all sitting up at the table.
Let me guess. You the Democrats.
No,
which one was you? Which one? It's a little hard to tell.
I was all confused. I was like, geez, what happened?
I'm going to tell you, that's exactly what we say every time. Democrats done walked away with all our birthright. What happened? That yeah, you know what?
I'm with you. I want the American dream.
We
too,
are
Maze.
sexual. Like we are. No, we really are. We don't even
Ruthie,
trade.
all you need is 2 children. You got
and a mattress. And a mattress. And y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. You know what? I'm gonna keep on rocking for a minute because we done went over the thing. I want to take another.
I know some police officers. I'm gonna have.
Always want to lock a black man up, man.
Todd, you better save all these good quirks you got because you've been on today.
Nah, he just worked. I only reason because I'm distracted. I would have checked Todd a long time ago. Listen, I'm just all over the place because I'm looking at these screens and nothing's working, and I'm just getting the dice to.
Okay. Now you're starting to sound like Sergeant Schultz.
That's who you originally was. Let me ask. I want to talk about what's my man Rittenhouse, Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yes,
is that his name? The white shooter.
Yes, him.
Yep. Antioch.
And white guy walking down the street with a long gun who shot 3 people in the Kenosha uprisings.
Hey, man, he was just policing the area.
Hey, man. Police don't white. No, very much not. You know why it's very much not?
Why?
Because he white. What I want to do is I want to make sure that black people don't get to take the ultimate send-off. Because here's what it is. Jacob. Okay, I didn't hit a roadblock. What's Jacob's last name?
Blake.
Jacob Blake, who was shot. Grabbed by the police officer, shot 7 times in the back, spine severed, potentially may not walk again. Was citizens of Kenosha getting out in the streets, marching, doing their peaceful protest, right? In the daytime. Then, as always, at night, the whites come out at night. The whites come out at night. The whites come out at night.
The whites come out.
The whites come, right. So, whites that came out, because they told it, look, it's a curfew in Kenosha, and they probably got the black folks pretty well trained in Kenosha, right? They know you would get and they would get away with it. So when they was like, and then when they saw all the white guys mounting up and rolling into town, you know, black people be like, man, white people be like, what's going on over there? I don't even need to know what's going on.
Yeah.
So now what we have out in the streets is white on white fights. We got whites. We got white. You got Jacob. What's my man? Not Jacob. Kyle, who was in with the cops because he was scrubbing the buildings all day, rolling around. He rolled to town. His mama, Clint. Man, you seen his parents? That's ridiculous. But anyway, in town cleaning the buildings.
Pictures. I'm like, where'd they get those from? So
lock your doors when you go through Antioch.
You know, Antioch is one of those places you would go when you want to buy, you know, old furniture and that kind of stuff.
White Todd returns because nobody goes to buy
A love seat. Let me go pick it
Let me
up.
go to Antioch.
Todd like them antiques from the estate sales, right?
Right. I would like that too.
I love garage sales too.
I like, you know where the best garage sales is in Highland Park. Go to the rich people garage.
Right.
Highland, Forest
always.
Park.
Yep.
So what we got here now is the perception that there is a race riot going on. Would you agree that? And then I was like, what we got to do with that?
And they were really Antifas because one of them had a pistol.
He had a pistol, and they whooped
Not
him.
that I'm saying I didn't see what happened.
Oh, but then they was finna whoop. No, he got whooped. Kyle got a little butt whooping a little bit.
Oh, did he?
He got assaulted. And then he fell when he was trying to retreat, and they was advancing. I seen the skateboard.
That's why they trying to say self-defense.
Right? Well, shoot. I mean, I think it was self-defense. Now, it was white supremacy self-defense, but but here's my thing. It would be different. See, and I'm not even mad at the self-defense argument because I would be mad at the self-defense argument if it was black people. Right? They'd be like, I was scared for my life.
Yep.
Man, I'd be scared for my life if 2 white boys was coming approaching me.
But how you got a whole assault rifle though when you running?
He when he fell, he stopped running. I'm saying, like, here's my thing. So I'm not defending him, but he was retreating. They were like, get that punk.
I think retreating and being chased are like a little bit two different things.
No, they're pretty much the same.
See, I feel like they different.
If the fight is that way and you going this way, it's the same.
One is by choice.
A retreat is supposed to be orderly, but hey, you know.
No. No one retreats on purpose. Like you getting retreat because you losing. Right? And so
you retreat.
You ain't retreat. If you're winning, you're advancing. If you're retreating, you're losing, or y'all going to regroup.
We should all be very concerned if this man, this young kid, white Kyle from Antioch, had a whole assault rifle and he was retreating. That just goes to show you that he is not properly trained in firearms.
Oh no, I think he operated.
He had a hairpin trigger that they call it, and he was scared. So can we really? We should be scared.
Did you watch that video?
I saw it.
Let me just
we should be afraid of these armed white men because as soon as they get scared, guess what they're gonna do? The same thing that the police do.
Can I just say this though?
Fidgety.
All I'm saying is, but all the white men out there was armed.
To everybody.
This is my point. Like, here's my point. Can we extricate ourselves from this? Because, like, here's what I don't want. Because Trump is coming up to Kenosha, right? Joe Biden was gonna come too. See, I think they told Joe Biden, you gotta stay in the basement, old man. But
away, Joe.
But Joe, he's gonna be in a
what
jail.
I read, maybe it was somebody else's thought. The idea was to say, all right, let's stop this craziness. The two of them would say, this is not about politics. Let's not have any more.
They're gonna do a beer summit.
Well, I feel like so here's my thing with Joe though. My thing with Joe is the Democrats are in a conundrum now in showing up in this town, right? Mm-hmm. Because they was gonna come and they was planning on having us come up there and all of us being mad at the racial shoot. They needed a black racial shooting, right? We was gonna be mad that they killed that this white long gun guy killed black people, and it's another example of right. And they really can't. And now they're in a conundrum with this Jacob Blake situation.
Well, they just can't show up because a white supremacist fought a
Antifa.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. It's too much white on white crime.
A white supremacist.
That's my point.
Trump needs to come.
It's fighting.
Trump needs to come to Kenosha and address this white on white crime.
He gonna address the Antifas. I'm saying. Here's my point though.
You gotta call it white on white though.
I'm with it. White on white crime. This white on white violence is. I'm saying let's make sure that we keep reiterating that this is all I'm saying is I don't want no black people calling me talking about the racism. That was two white people who shot each other. They all had guns. They was all out there armed, out past the curfew. They was breaking the law, every single one of them. And can I tell you what Trump is gonna say? There was good people on both sides.
Ooh,
bam! You like
but
that?
You know what though, Maze? One thing that you always talk about
now, huh?
is like the hijacking of the movements. And so I feel you when I feel you because it's like during a Black Lives Matter protest, I don't want Black Lives Matter nowhere in them white people fighting with their white on white crime.
Okay, so let me tell you something else though. Have you noticed? You guys start paying attention. See, Trump, he got some Negroes on the team. That's. Did you notice that yesterday on the news shows they were talking about Black Lives Matter Inc.?
The organization.
They started.
I saw that.
They're starting.
They're like Black Lives Matter,
Inc.
And then there's also Black Lives Matter Inc.
Yep.
Yeah. You know what they know?
What they know?
What we know? That it ain't black people out there. They know. Here's what the white people don't know. The difference. Like the white liberals, they're like, we're Black Lives Matter, and all the black people like, you white than a mug. You are white. You whiter than a sheep, and you out here talking about some black. Like, did y'all see all of the pictures of the march on Washington? First of all, let me shout out to all the people who went to the march on Washington. But did you see all of those Black Lives Matter shots in the White House with the white people holding the signs? It's like the imagery of this whole thing really is starting to irritate me.
Is it because black people, do we just not make posters? Like, what's...
Now, black people don't want to be carrying all that stuff, man. you know, I don't even want to carry I don't even want to take a jacket to the show because I don't want to have to carry that bad boy. Right? You be at the game like that.
You ain't paying for coat check.
Right.
I'm with you.
Right. You be like, man, it's cold. How cold is it? You be inside, outside, because I don't want to have nothing in my hands. But I'm going to tell y'all, real talk, I think that this white on white crime, I think that Joe Biden's about to have a conundrum. And the conundrum is he almost is going to be blamed. If they don't make the Black Lives Matter distinction that black people are making, Republicans have made, like, we keep saying that ain't us. And they keep saying, that's you too. We hear we see you crying out in the streets. No, we ain't. We might have redecorated a little bit, but we ain't took everything down. And so the point that I'm suggesting right now is, America's about to get the biggest FU ever.
I'm a huge Michael Moore fan.
I know he said something, but I decided
Michael Moore.
Yeah, I'm gonna read it.
Okay, well, coming again. That Trump is going to win again, and it is going to be the biggest FU to America as we know it. And I The Democrats are starting to recognize they got a black man problem because they said that Joe Biden was going to start coming out speaking to black men, but I guess that you still ain't let out.
Ooh.
Right? I'm just telling y'all. I feel like I got y'all with all the deep. Right? Like, and do y'all understand what happens when he comes on? What does that debate look like when they start talking criminal justice reform?
That's why they don't.
Like I did this, and you can say, she was only one. It's the kind of Joe Biden ain't gonna have none.
You know what's gonna happen as soon as Biden a segregationist? That's gonna be the ace in the hole for at least one or two debates. That's gonna be the talking point. It's gonna come back up.
Oh no! And look, and you saw can I watch the debate? She has nothing good. She don't have no good response. They need to respond. They need to work on that. Because when they were like, so you talked about Joe Biden, and she was like, Joe. Remember that stupid laugh? Joe. Yes, Joe. I just want to let you know that Joe is fully capable. No, but you had said though.
Answer the question.
Answer the question. Serious as cancer. All right, y'all. I'm gonna tell you. I just got so far thrown off because
I'm just curious what y'all black men think.
I'm gonna tell you what go ahead, Todd. You first.
I watched it again, so I don't watch everything over.
You can't be. I don't watch things over a lot except for Purple Rain. But you know, it's hard watching that stuff with Carrie. It's hard. She's hard touching base with. It's hard talking to Carrie. Watching it. Cause she been.
All those feelings and emotions.
And I was looking, but you know what? It's like I feel like so much I was watching part of it before I fell asleep.
Right.
And what was so cool is like all of like when the spaceships took off and then I saw a lot more stuff. Here's what I thought about Black Panther.
Around.
I'm gonna go to my notes. Y'all ready?
Wait, you ain't gonna use these same notes again tomorrow with you because we didn't get to use them today.
Nah, I'm gonna put some on there. We gonna call Chris Welch tomorrow though. But so here's what I said about Black Panther. So the question was, how important was Black Panther to black culture? Do we both agree that it was great? It was hugely impactful?
Well, I know Black Panther from the 60s. So it's always meant something to me because he was the first
black superhero.
Yeah, that I know of.
The only issue I have with it is
Luke Cage.
I just don't like the billions that Disney made. I feel like Disney could have gave more money. But that's my only gripe.
So here's mine.
Capitalism is capitalism.
So here's what. So I just want y'all to think about how important Black Panther was to us in our lives and in the world. And then I want you to say, here's the things. He was a fictional hero.
Yes.
Right? So it wasn't real. Like some people have think Wakanda.
You say it's not real, but
I've been to Wakanda before.
Yep.
It was owned and created by Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I like Stan Lee. Am I tripping? I'm a Marvel guy. I'm Marvel, not DC. But Marvel and Disney made the money off of that.
What I will say to that is I was more of a Marvel guy too, but that was because they seemed to be more realistic. When I was growing up,
whole point.
they had comics that
they had human characters. They had real flaws. They were people.
They reflected the times, though. I mean, they talked about slums. I mean, that's what I liked about Luke Cage. I mean, the guy was coming out of prison and he went right back to the slums.
Yeah. You seen his wife?
And here's my point.
You seen his wife?
So here's my point, though. My point again, regardless of all of the reflection of the times, it was owned by Stan Lee. It was produced. It was a Marvel comic, and it was owned by Disney. I think that when I ask you, what do black people have of value, right? So just think about how important that is, and we have absolutely no ownership of it, like none.
We ain't got no vibranium.
No vibranium. Shoot, no television in him, no movie in him. None of that. And I just think that it's important that even as we think about this, and even as important as T'Challa.
All right, Ruthie, stop being the hype man.
T'Challa and Chadwick Boseman were. He died of colon cancer, right? Which is preventable, right? And I just think
my cousin had colon cancer last year.
And I think we should not forget Chadwick Boseman, the man, right? Like I know we love Black Panther and all that good stuff, but I just think those are some of the things like we don't own. Like for all of that we, as we send him off into the wherever he goes and all of that stuff, we have no ownership in that. And that is the tragedy in my estimation of when you think about it was funny because who was it that I was when Sonia was talking about it and people were crying, and I remember when Wakanda came out and everybody was there and we was movies and again at the end of the day no shade at all, no ownership. We own, I mean, unless you got some Disney stock and shares, but the reality is we don't even own our own heritage.
Ooh.
And I would hate, just think like if we wanted to show that to our kids 20 years from now and a rich white man said, nah, I think that might give y'all too many ideas. I'm just saying. I think when I thought of Wakanda, I thought it was the, imagine owning our imaginations and the imaginations of our children. Man, it's funny
you say that because you know what one of Hans's big gripes is with Disney is that they own the intellectual rights to characters forever.
Hans got too much. And so just think about where the Black Panther fits, and to know that they own him forever.
They gonna have the Black Panther marry a white woman.
Woo, woo! You know it.
Gonna be called the multiracial Panthers.
Ruthie, it's a good thing this TV's between us. I jump across the table.
Meanwhile, there's a white lady saying, "That's a pretty good idea." Her name is Karen. What's the problem with that? Karen. Right? They're gonna marry the Black Panther. Gonna marry a white woman named Karen, and then that'll be the everything. Hey, y'all, this has been the Maze Jackson Show. I don't know what kind of broadcast this is. We're gonna chalk this up. We're gonna have it all back together tomorrow. But for those of you that stuck with us, we appreciate you. We love you. Thank you. So for Todd Stroger, my co-host, for Miss Ruthie Moore, for Sonia Escobar, the music conductor of the Soul Plane, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show. Hey, I want to remind you all, starting tomorrow, we got the Book of Dawn starting from 9 to 11. Ain't nobody moving nowhere. We'll be back. Hey, y'all.